Well, when Imran Khan first came to power and formed his government just a few months ago, I went out on a limb, but very confidently, in saying that he would be the best political ruler that Pakistan has had since the late and great Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And events that have happened over the last few months, now that Imran is in government, have totally vindicated this. He's put very few feet wrong and many feet right in terms of foreign policy relations. He's embraced the best spirit of win-win multi-polarity, and at the same time, he's done something that none of his predecessors in recent decades have done. He stood up to the United States from a position of a sovereign nation as opposed to a nation with a neo-colonial mentality that can be bamboozled by the CIA, whose civilians can be butchered by unmanned drone strikes, and whom the U.S. can spit upon, whether it's withdrawing so-called aid, which is really, frankly, just reparations in disguise and a measly, paltry amount at that. And so Imran is really putting he's putting his nation in a position that's repositioning it from one of subservience to one of regional leadership. This will, in the coming years, have positive economic repercussions and positive diplomatic repercussions. In some ways, we've already seen the flowering of this, as Donald Trump, within weeks, went from criticizing and, frankly, maligning Pakistan to now asking Islamabad for help in the endless war of America's creation in Afghanistan, which, frankly, the U.S. started in the early 1980s, late 1970s, and which continued with only a short period of quasi-abatement in the 1990s. So because of this, it would behoove anyone with a rational mindset to realize that you cannot solve the crisis in Afghanistan without Pakistan's help, and that indeed goes for all neighbors of the besieged Afghan nation. So it's anyone's guess what the U.S. will do now, because especially under Trump, an atmosphere of volatility pervades the general atmosphere where one day he's someone's friend, one day he's someone's enemy. This is true whether it's Emmanuel Macron and Justin Trudeau or Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. But if Imran continues on the path that he's pursuing, I believe that Pakistan's best days are very much ahead. Of course, there's economic problems which need to be solved and are being solved, but and in terms of foreign policy, I think Pakistan's new government really is demonstrating that it's a clean break from the past, not just in terms of who the prime minister is, but in terms of what he's doing. He's creating a new mentality in terms not only of the general political atmosphere, but in terms of the policy, that all of them are very positive thus far.